Let's jump to this next story. It's the big one, ladies and gentlemen. GameStop stock is back. The meme stocks and the stonks, whatever you want to call them. GameStop surges more than 110% as Roaring Kitty makes surprise comeback with cryptic post. GameStop shares surged as much as 110% on Monday after Roaring Kitty, the day trader who played a key role in the so-called meme stock rally of 2021, made a surprise comeback on social media, putting the squeeze on short sellers who lost $1 billion because of the rally. The meme was viewed 20 million times. He posted this picture of a gamer leaning forward as if he's getting serious. And, okay, there you go. Just by posting this, well, let's pull this up on X, see what the total engagement is so far. It's got 21.8 million views, 10,000 replies, 20,000 retweets, 107,000 likes, 5,200 bookmarks. This is the guy that started the meme stock craze in the first place. And so it looks like it is happening again. GameStop is surging. And so for those that aren't familiar with what happened back in 2021, this also has a huge impact on DJT stock. Let me see if I can pull up DJT on, here we go. We got it right here. We'll pull up the old Trump stock. Here it is. So something interesting happened when I met Donald Trump back at Mar-a-Lago. He mentioned that, Bill Pulte was talking about the Trump DJT stock going down. And Trump said, they're trying to short us. They're trying to force our stock to collapse. And it's really interesting because I had stated before the price dropped that I thought Trump supporters will buy stock in DJT just to have it. It's fun. That's what I did. I bought about a dozen shares because I was like, it's fun. Just have it. Just have some Trump stock. And then it dropped down to a low of, I think, $22.55 from a high previously of just about $72. And so right then I was like, wow, I guess I was wrong. I really thought it was Trump supporters who would not give up this stock. And I assumed it was people buying it for fun. As it turns out, when I was talking to Trump, he mentioned they're short selling it. It was an attack by institutional investors to destroy the value of the Trump stock, to hurt Trump's base and to hurt Trump and profit off of it. The price has since rebounded easily to $52. So apparently this was a short sale attack on Donald Trump. Wow. This is basically what GameStop was. These big institutional investors were buying shorts, basically a bet that a stock will fail. And because of it, it makes the stock fail because everyone's watching it and they're like, wow, why are they betting the stock to fail? So what happens with GameStop is all of these people on the internet, retail investors, meaning just regular old people, started buying the shares to drive the price up. And for those that aren't familiar with how a short sale works, I try to keep it as simple as possible, but it involves three parties. I borrow one share from Hannah Claire, tell her I'll give her the share back in a week, don't worry about it. I then sell the share to Elad for, let's say, $100. I'm hoping that by next week, the share price has collapsed. Let's say a week later, the price of the shares are now $10. I got $100 cash. I go and then buy a share for $10 and give the share back to Hannah Claire, pocketing the 90 difference. But if you short a stock and then the price starts going up, that means you're holding $100 cash, but now you need $200 to buy the share to give back to the person who lent it to you. Long story short, the more people buy GameStop, the more billionaires lose money. Andrew Tate got in on it and said diamond hands that he was going to put in something like $2 million. Someone tweeted at him, you're going to lose $2 million just to screw some guy to billions. And he said, yes. And that's basically what we're seeing right now. It's funny, for all Occupy Wall Street is and for all the left claims to be, this is one of the most effective actual Robin Hood style campaigns that we've ever seen.
I think they halted trading. They halted trading, which is significant. I'm not a big stock guy. Full disclosure, I have zero stocks of GameStop. But yeah, they halted trading, which was significant. They also did this last time when it shot up.
Because it was too volatile. And then I think with Robinhood, I think everyone knows what Robinhood is, right?
Yes.
It's an app where you can trade very easily. It used to be difficult. You need a brokerage account, you needed a broker or something, and then they made it very easy where you just use Robinhood. I think the way Robinhood works, though, is that they're basically a company with brokers, and when you buy things on their app, you're not really buying it. You're just instructing them to buy.
I thought it was they sell the data of the trades that you make to those big hedge funds.
That's how they make money.
Oh, that's all. Yeah.
But my understanding is that if you go on Robinhood and you say, like, I want to buy one share, you only technically have the share, and that's how you're able to buy share fragments.
Oh, I see.
You can buy like 0.3 of a share or something because it's actually held by Robinhood, and you're like staking a claim in their share or something like that. I don't know. I could be wrong.
It sounds like what that situation was with like Bitcoin wallets where you thought you were buying them, but you only had like a proxy of them or something.
Yeah, so like crypto wallets, a lot of people don't realize because they go to an exchange, they'll buy it and they think they have the money, and it's like, well, yeah, but the account is held by that company. So everybody was saying like, you doing that is kind of like going to a coin shop and asking them to hold your cash for you because you trust them, as opposed to putting the cash in your pocket or storing it in a safe in your closet. Sometimes banks make sense, but these aren't banks. You know, these exchanges are, they're exchanges, and your money sitting on it could disappear overnight.
I think there was one infamous one, BitConnect, among many of where they eventually went under.
A whole bunch of them imploded and people lost all their money.
Yeah. Do you think Americans are financially literate enough just to survive in the economic landscape that we have today? Like, I think when most people talk about stocks, even with the internet, the meme stocks, I think that was a motivator for a lot of people to learn about the stock market. Otherwise, it's sort of just noise that's on in the background.
Yeah, it's a very different environment than it was even 30, 40 years ago, right? I mean, you have computer programs and all that are working on algorithms as it relates to stock trading and all of that. I mean, which is faster than the human mind obviously can compute where that investment is, or trying to formulate what the next ETF is going to be, or this or that. And so obviously the billionaire class has a massive advantage here. And that's why this thing is so interesting, because they're kind of... If you don't think these guys, the billionaires, short the stock market all the time, they do that all the time.
Do you think
Congress? Yeah.
People should be banned from trading stocks?
Yes, I do.
Okay, interesting. Could you explain why? I mean, just so we get the...
Yeah, well, so just for me, I'll say as the state treasurer of West Virginia currently, I hold no stocks. I liquidated everything I had when I got elected just because I thought, you know what, I don't even want any sense of impropriety or anything like that.
So you don't have any investments, or is it just in real, you're completely divested? Or
I got 401k,
okay.
But I'm not actively managing that,
But you're not day trading.
No, I'm not day trading. Have I day traded in my life? Yes. Yes, I have. But I haven't done that as state treasurer. Now, in Congress, they're privy to so much information that the average individual is not, that they do have an informational advantage as it relates to the stock market. To me, could they put this, their stocks in trust or something like that, have some outside entity manage some? Sure. Yeah, that's fine. But the day trading aspect of it that's going on there, I think that's wrong. Putting, shares of some company. Look, you might have some guy that gets elected to Congress and owns shares in his own company. I'm not saying divest, out of that, but put it into a trust, have it, passively managed or something outside, not where they can actively manage it.
Can I ask, why do you think so many Congress people then are still doing these trades? They do have to disclose it,
yes.
And it's a bad look for them, but they're still engaging in this. So why do you think they continue to do so?
I think, in their view, just my guess, I don't know, but that most people aren't paying attention. Most people aren't paying attention. I mean...
and they don't understand. I think that's part of the issue.
Yeah. I don't know if you know that Twitter account, Unusual Whales on X. Yeah, great account there. They do...
And Quiver Quantitative.
Yep. Yeah, that's another one. They do a great job on that. I mean, basically almost every member of Congress is beating like the S&P 500, right?
Dramatically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like they're crushing it. I mean, that's like they're better than Warren Buffett at
really
this.
Good?
Like,
that's an understatement.
I think there's an issue here with... this is going to sound bad, but like... And obviously the way to make more income isn't by being corrupt, but if we're trying to attract the best talent to come to Washington, paying them, what is it, roughly 200?
I think it's 175K.
If you're genuinely talented, I mean, that's a lot of money, period. But for a lot of the best talent in the country, if you want to attract them over, $170-something is not going to cut it. And obviously it's not popular to say Congress deserves a raise or senators deserve a raise. But I think there is something to be said about if we are trying to attract the best talent, obviously.
Yeah, there's something to be said about it where, say you're a United States senator and you're cruising around the halls of the United States Senate meeting with like billionaires all the time and all these people that are highly successful and you're making $174,000 a year. which is probably more of a comment on some of the type of people we're electing, right? That they think that they should be on some equal footing, not only in terms of power, prestige, but also money. That's not why you should be doing these jobs, just to be clear. But yeah, I mean, it's
like if you could get paid 3, 4, 5 times as much in the private sector, and then you go work for the government just to constantly get slandered and have to deal with all the consequences.
Elad, do you know how much Caitlin Clark is going to make per year?
Like $80K, but a lot more in advertisements, I believe.
Exactly.
Okay.
The people who get the job of Congress are not thinking about $174K. They're thinking it's a job that pays $174K with a bonus structure of insider trading.
Yeah. And then after the fact, you get hired you get put on every board.
Oh, yeah. Boeing's waiting.
Yeah, you go get on the boards.
But then they wouldn't have to. It should be banned to begin with, but obviously Congress isn't going to ban itself from trading stocks. But yeah.
Well, I will tell you this, point blank. If that bill were to come up, I'd absolutely vote for it. And, look, but just to be clear, if there's somebody who you're going to have to disconnect yourself from any securities that you own. It has to be, passively managed by somebody else. You can't be connected to that. You can't be day trading and sharing information with that money manager.
I mean, that's what Trump had to do, right, with the Trump organization.
Yes.
There is also something I think to be said about if you're already a millionaire and you're very well off, then you're not worried about the pay. So we're creating a bias towards rich people in Congress as well. Not that rich people are bad. I love rich people. I think rich people are great. But there is a bias then because if you're broke, then you will struggle to have 2 homes, one in D.C. and one in your district if you're only making that much. And then
and that is a lot of members of Congress. Many of them who are not these corrupt day traders, insider trading, and all that stuff. And there was, I believe, it's well known. Many of these members sleep in their congressional offices.
Yeah, they sleep in their office.
Not supposed to do that, but there's no one's going to kick you out, so they do it anyway.
Yeah, and the price of real estate in Washington, D.C., so it's like, what are they going to do? Like buy like $1 million condo?
There's an old video of Senator Schumer joking around with another one of his Democratic colleagues, and they were joking around about living in this dump of a house in D.C., and it was just a shocking video. It felt like they were lying about it, though. It felt like they were just showing it to be like, oh, look how poor we're pretending to be, but...
I suppose the easy thing for you is that we're like an hour from D.C. as it is.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to either drive in or take the train.
Easy.
Yeah, just cruise in.
I hate to say it, but hate and love to say it. I look forward to you being another member of the good members of Congress who are doing the right thing. And I also hate to say it because it's such a small group of people. It's frustrating sometimes, It is. And I really appreciate that. And, it just depends on the motivations, I think, of why you're doing this. And you do see people that are living there broke, sleeping in their offices and doing it for the right reasons. And then you got some people that apparently somehow magically are better at trading stocks than Warren Buffett. I gotta give it to Nancy Pelosi.
She's a killer.
When she opened up that freezer drawer with all that Jenny's ice cream, she had balls to do that. At a time when people are suffering, what was it, like during the lockdown and stuff, and she's like, look at all my $15 ice cream. It's wow.
She had like this $30,000 Sub-Z fridge.
She's like, I'm relatable, right? This makes me look relatable.
She's like, my husband's just so good at the stock market. I don't know how it happens. It's just the best.
There are 2 members of Congress who are co-owners of Major League Baseball teams. I always think that's kind of funny.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I can't remember who it is. I'll find it in a second, or might have to tell you during the after show. But it is interesting because obviously you would have a variety of incomes pre-Congress. Like you don't want it to be only one type of people. On the other hand, if you make it impossible to stay in this career, you have a young family, you have to decide, is this service worth it? Or am I taking too much of a financial hit? Am I not being able to provide for the people who depend on me the most, which are my children and, my spouse?
Yeah. A big sacrifice for what? And especially in a time where I think we're seeing a lot of congressmen resign generally.
Oh, yeah.
There's a long list of them.
No, there's a lot of them resigning. And part of it too is just kind of, look, if you want to get into public service, just right-sizing your life. I have a very modest home. I don't really own anything, just other than our house.
And you're going to be happy about it.
Yeah, and I'm happy about it.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.